Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ashish. In the previous video, I looked at some iPhone 14 Pro Max cases, and in this video, we'll look at the main event itself, the iPhone 14 Pro Max in gold. So without further ado, let's do the unboxing for this one. As usual, we have two little tabs here. As soon as you get rid of them, you can gain entry into the phone. And then you simply prop the box like so, and the phone is revealed for the first time. This is sort of paper, glossy paper covering. There is no plastic. Again, we don't get a charger in the box. There is just the Lightning to USB Type-C cable, and as usual, we should have a SIM ejector tool, some regulatory information, and one single white Apple sticker. First impressions of the iPhone are that it is practically the same as the iPhone 13 Pro Max, save for the ever so slightly larger camera lenses and a slightly different power button position. That has in turn ensured that none of your older cases will work with this phone. Whether that's a result of the camera module needing more space or purely to ensure sales of new accessories, I will leave for you to decide. Now stop here. Before you do anything else, get yourself a screen protector and save yourself some heartache later. I recommend Spigen, and installation is a cinch. I have no affiliations to them or to any other company, but the quality and ease of installation wins me over with this product, the Spigen Glass TR Easy Fit Tempered Glass Screen Protector. Once installed, you can start enjoying your new iPhone the way it was intended to be. Here's what's new with this year's biggest Pro iPhone. And here's what really matters to me. In fact, the camera upgrade and the always-on display are the only two compelling reasons I can think of if upgrading from last year's iPhone. Anything older than that and you are in for a treat. Frankly, performance-wise, I cannot separate the A15 Bionic from the new A16, and that's perhaps why Apple chose to compare it to the A13 Bionic in this year's keynote. So that means that the iPhone 13 Pro Max feels just as fluid 1 year later. In fact, iOS 16 has refreshed the software experience on older iPhones. Don't get me wrong, the iPhone 14 Pro Max feels very snappy at everything it does, till I go back to the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and that feels just as fast. I can't put my finger on it, but somehow the experience is snappier on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Maybe it's just cause it's so new. But the point is that we're splitting hair at this stage. Whether benchmarks will show a different story, as will intensive games, I have no doubt. But let's just say that the performance is not a reason to upgrade if you're on the 13 series. Same for battery life. The iPhone 13 Pro Max was outstanding. The 14 Pro Max promises an extra couple of hours. We're truly hitting dizzying heights here, ensuring that the phone will never die in a day. And that's where things should stand. As long as you can make it to a charger at night, even after heavy use, I'm happy with that. So once again, a nice upgrade, but not a reason to upgrade from the 13 series phones. The display is even brighter this time and has a max peak brightness of 2000 nits. It also features an always-on display for the first time. This is a serious upgrade and will take some getting used to for iPhone users. Combined with the new ability to ramp down the refresh rate to just 1 Hz down from the iPhone 13 Pro Max's 10 Hz means that you can almost have the home screen always on, just in a dimmed state. The notch also makes way for the Dynamic Island, one of the smartest users of software to hide cutouts in the display in recent times. In one fell swoop, Apple has made what would otherwise be an eyesore into one of the biggest selling points of the phone, and it is actually impressive. It's like discovering little Easter eggs each time the Dynamic Island shows new ways to notify you. Battery percentage is now always displayed in the battery icon, and the new software is many-fold more intelligent than before in making use of the space at the top. The cameras are the other big reason to upgrade from anything older. Just the sheer ability to be able to capture more pixels, even though in practice many will not, is a welcome addition. I'm convinced that by combining this with computational photography, at least a certain section of enthusiasts and pro photographers will be able to leave their DSLRs behind. Already I feel that it makes lugging around a large camera redundant when traveling. Such is the impressive ability of this camera system. 2x zoom achieved digitally and yet without any loss at 12MP resolution is welcome and useful. One important point here, now that Pro RAW images will take up to 80 MB for each photo, make sure you get the 256GB variant at the very least. More so if you want to make use of that action mode in video. If you combine the 256GB storage variant with one of the higher storage tiers in iCloud, then you can have a very seamless and almost limitless experience with larger files. The iPhone will automatically keep offloading videos and photos to the cloud, and this will ensure that there's always space on the phone. Also, with 256GB, you have enough headroom to work with until you get to a speedy internet connection to offload to the cloud. Now, the shots are incredibly detailed when you pixel peep when shot at 48MP resolution. But if you're just looking at them on a mobile screen, the HEIF photos with Apple's computational algorithms working on them might actually appear better. Of course, that is until you zoom into the picture and look at the details captured. It's still not as clean as a full-frame camera, such as these pics taken by a 24-megapixel Nikon Z6, but incredibly detailed when compared to the muddy 12MP shots at this zoom level. Action mode in video works well, and even when the footage is very shaky, it produces a very usable result. In fact, it defaults to the ultra-wide camera when you first select action mode, but you can choose the main camera and then record for the best possible quality. All in all, first impressions of this phone are really positive, and really it doesn't put a foot wrong anywhere. It's actually catching up with Android phones in certain areas, such as the resolution of the cameras and the always-on display, but it does it better than most of them, now that it has those features. It's just that it feels less of a seismic shift, like say the iPhone 12 or 13 Pro Max phones. The 12 brought back a beloved angular design language and larger sensors for the cameras, and the 13 Pro Max adopted 120Hz displays. That meant I could not go back to the 12 after using it. In this case, the improvements are tangible but not indispensable, and you get the same fluid experience with iOS, save for the dynamic island. I'd say skip this generation if you have the 13 series and wait for a USB-C equipped iPhone 15 Pro Max. For everyone else, or if you've got to have the latest and greatest, well, this is the best phone by far, not just the best iPhone. Do check out my reviews of the best cases for your new iPhone 14 Pro Max. Thanks for watching till the end, and please consider subscribing to this channel. I will see you in the next one.